Good day, good day, good day, and welcome to another episode of Panama CrossTalk, where you get the real scoop on what's going on in Panama. So, welcome everyone, and with me today, a man Jeff. JC, what do you know, buddy? What's happening?
Good morning, again and again. Panama Crosstalks with Mr. Eric and Jeff Daiquiri 23.
At the spot, at the spot.
Yeah,
Great, man. How's rainy season holding out down there?
loving it. It hasn't really rained a lot the last couple of days, but that's here in the city. But if you go further out of the city, it raining dogs and cats out there.
Well, that's always a good thing for the canal and all that to get Lake Khartoum built back up, get
Yeah.
that commerce keep flowing and stuff, man. Well, you've had a busy week this past. You had the privilege of being invited to a town hall with the U.S. ambassador. Tell the folks, man, what went on about that and how that come about.
Oh, well, basically, the VFW commander contacted me and told me that he wanted to meet with some of the veterans that's living in the area and, to just have an open discussion before the town hall. So I was privy to be able to submit two questions and online on an email, which both of my questions was addressed. But I was able to meet the ambassador. We shook hands, had a quick conversation, and then, that went very well. There was about 30 military veterans that introduced themselves directly to him. And then in the town hall, there was just questions and concerns that were brought up about Panama, the military, the U.S., as well as the two questions I had was the Social Security office uh, being opened here in Panama, and then the United States Post Office and the Panama Post Office um, was two topics that were brought up and discussed in detail.
Yeah, that's good. What was the discussion around? Because I know, like, when the bases were there, the people were getting mail delivered just like they do here in the U.S. I know where my brother stays at that was base housing at one point because they had mailboxes in front of every house. So this system is still there. Why doesn't it work?
Well, believe it or not, the ambassador or anybody in the staff at the U.S. Embassy was unaware that Panama had a post office. So that's a problem in itself that you can't fix what you don't know about.
Right.
So, me bringing that to their attention, everybody wanted to talk about the third party, the mailbox, et cetera, the My Box, and all these
Yeah.
other third party places that are doing business and giving us a post office box in Miami, which that to me was a big issue because first of all, lack of knowledge, you don't know, and then me bringing up the fact that the system is there, the infrastructure is there. It's just that there's a connectivity that's broken because again, my explanation to him and the staff and the people that were there that I sent a package to myself 3 weeks before I went to my house in Dallas, and then I
Ooh.
stayed 3 weeks, and package still didn't arrive. So that's 6 weeks. I come back for another 4 weeks in Panama before the package even arrived in my address in Dallas. So the system is there from post office to USPS mail. It's there. It's broken, and I think I know the answer on how to fix it. But it's just the fact that they will let packages sit around for weeks and weeks and weeks before they process it and put it on the plane to the US. So if that's broken, if the system is there, how do we fix it? And how are we going to go about addressing um, this on a long term basis? Because we do have a relationship with the United States Post Office and the Panama Post Office, but it is such a huge delay that we need to figure out why it's delayed, how we're going to fix it, and there's not really a big cost involved. I think it's mainly um, the squeaky wheel gets the oil, and nobody is aware that that system is there, the infrastructure is there, and it just needs to be fixed. No, we're not trying to put anybody out of business in the mailbox business, because we're just talking about the people that want to do business with the United States. And then there's other people here from other countries that will continue to use those third party mailboxes to receive their mail. So we're not trying to do any of that. We're just saying that there's enough of us here,
Right.
and Panamanians alike, that would benefit from having that relationship fixed, because there's millions of Panamanians living in the United States that travel back and forth, that rely on sending items for their family members back to Panama, as well as the people here sending mail back to the U.S. So I think that that's a win-win situation, and it got their attention, and they did take my phone number, my name, and everything, because they wanted to contact me about more details around this particular topic, and they figured that I would be a good point of contact for them to discuss further, since I do have a history of logistics as well as dealing with package delivery.
Right, right. That's something else. We was talking, and one main reasons I picked up on why they was looking at what you were speaking about is because everyone else was talking about issues that only concerned them. You was talking about issues that can benefit everybody. You know, all expats. So uh, they, I don't think they really understood the format of a town hall. Not just the hey, I can't get peanut butter here. What's going on? Where's Jif at?
Yeah.
They're talking about some little bitty things that really is this what you're going to bring about? So, well, that's great. And what was the other topic that you brought up?
The other topic was that I asked how many people on Social Security uh, will it take to entertain opening another branch of the Social Security office in Panama. And it was
Mm,
explained that Costa Rica is has the office there, and basically they manage and correspond with people throughout Central America. So they have a bigger mission to resolve and answer questions from, and as far as the region itself, and they may increase the visits. So currently, it's 4 visits a year. There's a possibility they may increase it because of the number of people drawing Social Security and needing, uh, you know, communication with the Social Security office for various things. Medicare,
hmm.
uh, deposit issues, changing banks, or
Okay.
just updating information in general. So, because they're requiring every 2 years, you got to let them know that you're still alive and kicking, so that they can continue to send you your
Right.
money.
Right. So are
So,
they excuse me, are they covering the region of Panama also?
yes, yes,
Okay.
they come here 4 times a year currently, because that was an advanced email that I sent to them with my question. So they had a little research. They were able to answer that question
Mm,
and letting me know that, yeah, we come 4 times a year, but I think there's more of a requirement to have more of a visit than 4 times a year, once a quarter, for the number
yeah.
of people here. Because there's 90 plus thousand Americans currently in Panama based on the numbers, but I think that they're just not counting the Panama Americans as well. I don't think they're counting that number, because that number would go well up into the
Yeah,
high
yeah.
six figures if they were able to count those numbers of people actually getting Social Security checks here in Panama.
Correct, Armando. Yeah, there are a lot of Panamanians who've moved back home. So
Yes.
h- how how are you how are people able to find out when they come every 4 times a year? Where's that information assimilated
Well,
at?
currently, since I am a good friend of the president of the VFW, whenever anything like that comes to Panama, they are notified. And so then I disperse that information out, and the embassy actually has it on their website when they're having anything like that going on here. So it's good for people to go to the website and just kind of read over what's happening, what's current, what's on the calendar that they
Right.
have on the website, the embassy website here in Panama.
All right. Right on, man. Shit, you out there doing it for everyone. What benefits all? You ain't just looking for some chunky peanut butter and where you could get it at.
Hey, look here, man. I think when they gave us all those shots when we entered the military, I think one of those shots said "public servant for life."
Yeah, right. Once a public servant, always one. You just pick the ball up and just keep on going, man. It's hard not to do that,
Yeah, it's
especially
hard to ignore
yeah,
things that are broken or things that you can identify as a problem and you can come up with a solution for it. It's hard to do that if it's in your DNA. You just can't turn your head and look the other way. I'm not that kind of guy. I've never been that kind of guy.
right,
So
right.
I may just make sure you don't get in a fight with nobody around me.
Yeah, that's right. That's it, man. That is it. Oh, right. You know, we was there were some other things that excuse me, guys. I had to put on my specs for a second. I can't see this little my own little small chicken scratch, man. You ever had that problem?
Hey man, I had that problem all the time, man. Sometimes in my dreams, I put my glasses on so I can see what's happening in my dream.
Oh shoot. So you know your spot's getting more seen by expats, which is a great thing. There was a creator, YouTube creator, came and had an event there at your spot. Tell us a little bit about
Oh
how
yeah,
that went.
Passport Heavy came by. One of the expats here told him he needed to come by here, and a lot of times they can come to a spot, and it may not be worthy to shoot an interview with, but I was able to talk with Jabril and his other assistant that was with him, and noticed to me that they were able to. Uh, Basically get some information from me that they wanted to post and
Right,
as content for their followers.
that's right. Bill Drill, passport heavy, Jabril. Shout out to you, man.
Oh yeah,
I knew that young fellow when he was like 19 years old. Boy, he was hustling then. So it's no
yeah.
surprise at where he's at now with all his knowledge and great marketing and man, the content and the video, the cinematography that they do is off the chain. So yeah, that's good. Any other events you have down there?
Well,
Back 23?
just touching base on Jabril again. You never know the effect that an interview like that and being identified on a platform like his, because I noticed that uh, there was an interview snippet that a short that he created from our conversation
Uh-huh.
and posted. And I was wondering why all these people started following Daiquiri 23. And I had no
Uh-huh.
idea. And somebody said, "Oh, you did a great interview." I'm like, "What interview did I do?" And then I saw it later on that morning because the night before, all these people started following Daiquiri 23, and I was unaware. I'm like, "What happened?" I
Yeah,
said, I didn't do anything special,
yeah,
but that goes to show you the effect when you get on the right social media platform and how effective it is that their followers actually say, I want to know who this particular business is, who this person is. And
yeah.
so they actually clicked and started following. So I just wanted to plug him for doing that, and me not understanding social media like a lot of people because that's their livelihood, and
Right.
I just do it. This is what doing in business. But um, anybody that's a content creator and they're doing what Jabril is doing, if they come to you, be ready.
Yeah.
You know,
That's
because
that's
there's a lot of benefits.
that's for sure. Uh one of the lot of questions people are asking that are not quite at the age of retirement and want to come down, set up a business. They look at what you're doing. They think, oh, they could just come down there. There's a whole mess of noodles that you have to navigate your way through when you have a brick and mortar business like yourself in Panama. Explain to people that it is not as easy as you make it look. There's some real struggles and trials and tribulations that you have to go through.
Oh yeah,
Tell some people about that.
yeah. There's several times I just wonder, why did I do this in Panama? I needed to do a little bit more research, but this is not research that you can find answers to. You have to actually go into business, bump your head, and either just say this ain't for me and lose everything you invested, or you're going to get up off the mat every single time you get knocked down and get up and come out fighting every day. And what you're fighting against is not really yourself. You're fighting against the culture. You're fighting against people's expectations. You're fighting against, distributors. You're fighting against the government. When they get you in their crosshairs, as far as you're a taxpayer, you're paying the people's social security that works for you, all the things that you were doing in the United States, the government of Panama expects you to do here. It may be not as big and magnified as it is in the United States. It's not geared to put you out of business, but you make one mistake, they're going to make you pay for it. So people think that this is so easy to do, but it's really not. It's not an easy thing, and I wouldn't advise anybody to do what I've done, because I promise you, there are times when I just said, I'm done. I'm
Right.
done. And it normally comes from the responses that I get when expats come in with, a lot of expectation, not knowing when I open up this door, there's a lot of things that goes on behind the scenes before I can even get the door open.
Right.
Staffing issues, you name it. Customer service, you can train, but people don't retain something they're not used to very easily. And
Right.
then you don't know the education of the staff that you are hiring. They may not have completed school, but they're adults, and it's too late for them to go back to school, they think. And probably in Panama, it's not like in America where you can go and have kids and all of a sudden I'm going back to the university. It's not that easy for them here,
Yeah.
because they still have to put food on the table at home. And once they finish working a 6-day work week over here, uh, how much time you think they got for school?
Right.
So there's a lot of challenges here, and people think, oh, if you're in business, you're going to make profit. No, people's expectation and what they want to pay allows you to be profitable, and a lot of times it's going to take you a longer period of time to be successful, especially in the food business, because you can get food at every corner and at every house. People are
Yeah.
actually going in people's house, cooking their food for them. These chefs going in, cooking dinner. You got people selling food on the street. You got people cooking in their apartments and what have you, selling food to their friends and their followers and what have you. So you got a lot of competition out here.
Yeah.
And I've seen people go into business and don't last 3 months. Daiquiri 23 has been here a year and a half now, and it's not been because it's been profitable. It's been because I've continued to inject money into it to keep it alive, so that we as expats have a place that we can go to enjoy different things. Like you said, events. We have our game nights. We have karaoke when it's available. We have, like this weekend, we got our Expat Independence Day, starting in a celebration from the third through the sixth, third, fourth, fifth, and sixth. We're having that here for people that are independent now from the countries they come from, and now residing in Panama. So we're having our Expat Independence Day celebration, of the first one here at Daiquiri 23. So we're going to have the barbecue grills out, the music, the DJ. We're going to have all that celebration
Yeah.
here.
Gee, big times happening. That's it. Hooking them all up. The expectations of expats. It's interesting because they'll come to your place, expect this and that, but at the same time, you folks traveling there or just tourists there, go to a TGI Fridays down there and see. It's not being ran the same way as one back in the States or in Canada or even Australia. So
Exactly.
uh, you're not in the States, you in Panama, so act accordingly. So those expectations just need to, they need to lose that. Once you go across that border there, leave all that stuff there. You're in Panama, so
Yeah, it's not like we do our best every day. Yes, even after we do our best, there's still room for improvement. So we're always working on that. We're always very conscious of that. That's why I'm here 6 days a week, because it's my investment to lose. It's
right.
my reputation. So when anything goes wrong, I'm I'm really man enough to be able to say, "Hey, if you have a bad experience here, let me pay for that for you, if that's going to satisfy you." But I'm of the mindset is to where that when I go out of my way to make sure that you have a good experience, um, I want that part of me saying, let me pay for that, to be part of that experience and not to be excluded from the bad service that you may have received, because that's not our norm. Our norm is not giving bad service. Our norm is trying to be consistent every day, doing the same thing every day. But sometimes, we may have a new staff. I may have given an order or a direction that was misunderstood, and then when they tried to deliver it, it didn't meet the expectation. So there are just certain things that happens in the process of operating a business, especially a food business, that we're not a fast food. We basically cook to order, meaning that if you sit down in 2 minutes and you can get your food in 1 minute, that food has already been prepared. No, we don't operate like that in Daiquiri 23. We don't have food sitting around in the back and just throwing it in the microwave. That food is hot, served, and cooked while you're waiting. So, the drinks and everything. So some people come in and
You
want to
don't got
smoke.
no burgers. You don't have no burgers down waiting on the slide, ready to come down. You just have to grab
No,
them.
no. We don't have that sitting in the bin
I
where you
can't
can
get
already
I can't get a McDowell. I can't get a McDowell burger.
No, that doesn't happen. It's cooked as soon as you order it. It's cooked fresh. So that's one thing that people may want, that type of experience, but we can't deliver that when we're actually cooking the order. And so some people come in and are short on time, and they don't have the time to wait 10 minutes for your food to be hot and fresh cooked before you. And then their experience from that point there goes down, because their expectation is, I need to be eating, when I sit down in 5 minutes, I need to be eating in 5 minutes. And that's not possible based on your order, because some people want to order things not even on the menu. And my staff is always trying to please them, and they'll take that order not knowing that it's not even on the menu. It's not on the menu. But the staff is trying to please them, and the chef is trying to please whatever that order is. Somebody wanted a jerk chicken pasta. That's not on the menu, but guess what? The chef cooked it for them.
I can't beat that.
So
I
again,
can beat that.
these are things that happen. The expectations of people wanting certain things, and they try to order something that's not even on our menu, and then they get upset if they can't get it that way. So it's just little different things, and I'm like, oh my God, why did I do myself like this?
Right,
You
boy.
know,
They need to get a grip, man. They need to get a
yeah.
grip. Yeah.
But I will say this: thank you for all the expats that have come and realized that, hey, this is not a perfect world. We are in Panama, and let's just go ahead and support where we can support. And they have really been great about supporting Daiquiri 23. I've brought in a barbecue master that he's going to handle the barbecue. Uh, events that we have here. So, American style barbecue, what
There
we're
you
used
go.
to.
There you go.
So
I'm
it's
talking
not something
that Midwest going on. It's all
that,
about just tranquilo. Just slow it down when you get to Panama. Slow it down, and you
yes.
won't be disappointed. Guarantee if you just slow it down.
Yeah.
Don't set that bar high and expecting quick stuff because it's mañana, baby. We'll get to it mañana. So have a drink, relax, listen to the tunes, and everything will just be flowing real smooth. Like
So
you had them butlers over there. They was holding their little their event over there too. You had the brigade over there, huh? Shout outs to the butlers.
The
I know
Butler
you do, Cameron
Brigade,
too. Yeah.
Cass and said they came by. Uh, it's so funny that we had a connection when I first opened up, and I met
Okay.
them, and then we found out that we were basically neighbors back in Texas.
Oh,
They lived
okay.
10 minutes from me.
There you
you
go.
know, and we kind of hit it off. And then when they started doing what they were doing, they made the point to let me know, hey, when we come back to Panama, we're going to do everything that we can possible to have our events there at Daiquiri 23. And they were of their word. They came through and brought their crowd and their brigade with them. Their followers were anxious to meet them, and so it was a real good turnout, and they want to continue to do that once a month here, is have their expats to meet them here and meet and greet the new ones, meeting the old and the new. And so networking together is what they really want to do, and they're really good at it. We don't do this for money. We do
Yeah.
this because we're creating a community in Panama. You
Right.
know, Maybe that's one of my biggest downfalls is as the reason why I have to continue to invest in Daiquiri 23, because I don't charge. We're only going to make money if people actually come in and support us and buy food and drinks and what have you, and enjoy the atmosphere. So I don't get mad if somebody want to come here. I've had people come here at 1 o'clock and don't leave till we close because they want to
Yeah.
play cards. They invite some of their friends. They'll sit here and make this a whole day event. Are we mad? No. Are they buying and spending money the whole time they're here? No, they're not. I'm just happy that they feel that that the atmosphere is so good enough for them to want to stay that long. I'm like, man, my butt would get tired if I stayed that long in any place, you know. And
That's
somebody
their
said, man,
retirement. That's that ish time, boy. They on that ish time. It could be 1 ish, 2 ish. It don't matter. They on that
exactly.
retired time, so they enjoying. So just
And, and,
remember,
and
man, as they always say when you leave, tip the bartenders too. Spend a little bit. Have a drink
yeah,
every couple of hours or something. Help the place out. So we
Yeah,
keep the
they stay
doors
so long.
open.
They want to buy me a drink. I'm like, no, I can't. I can't drink. I'm working.
They're gonna have you on swerve, huh?
Yeah, yeah. So and that's just basically what I tell anybody. Whatever you want to do at Daiquiri 23, we're trying to make it happen for you. That's why we're here. We are not here to be empty. We're here to be full every night if that's possible. But somebody said, hey, Jeff, you lost weight. Yeah, because I can't eat Daiquiri 23 food every day I come to work. I cannot eat this food every day. So I wouldn't
Right.
expect nobody else to come here every day to eat the food.
Yeah. Right.
It's not that the food is not good. It's just that no, I can't eat here every day.
Yeah.
Food I like to eat maybe it's not on the menu, and I'm not gonna say fix this special for me so that I can have something to eat. So no, yeah, I have lost weight because of that. I don't eat here every day. I've got people that will come here that visit. They may eat here every day because they can pick 10 different items off the menu for 10 different days. But normally when they come back, they were like, no, don't give me any oxtails. I'm addicted to the oxtails now. So they'll come and eat a plate of oxtails every day.
Well, man, just the weather, the atmosphere, the food is cleaner. When I'm there, my health's better. I always lose weight. I'm just killing my body going back and forth all the time because I'm back here and I'm gaining weight, no energy. Man, I got to get back to my second home, man. I'm telling you, because this food up here be killing the brother, boy. So,
Yeah. And look, you're going to start to pay more for it.
yeah,
I don't even
yeah,
want to talk politics, uh, but sometimes we got to get in that fight too
yeah,
to try to make a difference.
yeah, man. And it's a wacky world we is in right now, as they saying. It's
Yeah.
it's crazy, man. But
And
you
it's
know, you
affected everything around the world.
yeah, one of the big things, man, I always appreciate if you're always giving back, and anyone that's looking at our content, having a mind to want to look at relocating or any of that, you're giving all this information out there, man, for people so they can get it, they can make good decisions. It's a hub. I know when I stopped in there, there's people coming in that was just visiting and talking to some of the locals that are in there. Hey, how's it? What you guys do? How do you do this? And just talking, meeting new people, getting new friends, changing WhatsApp numbers, and I mean, it's just
Yeah.
that's what it's all about. You know,
Networking.
we're all in it together. We're all looking for a better way, a better lifestyle. So if you're leaving somewhere, you don't bring it down. Reinvent yourself. This is
Yeah.
because it's you'd be amazed on the type of people you meet in Panama, from from the mountains of Boquete to Davie to the coast of Las Tablas and Coronado, or even right in the city. The people are there for a reason. Just reach out. Don't be shy. Say something to them, and I mean, you'd be amazed at the new friends you meet being here. But yeah, definitely just slow it down and relax, man. You have any? You have your upcoming your once a month coming up to give
Yeah.
some info. So people, if you're traveling, vacationing, schedule it around the first of the month so you can come down there and get some information about Social Security, talk to some attorneys and stuff like that.
The
Yeah,
hospitals, the
yeah,
medical care.
hit on that.
Medical is number
Yeah,
one. Medical is number one.
yeah.
This Thursday is our first Thursday of the month, our one stop, one source for people that want to get information, which hospital is best for them to attend. We got 5 different hospitals that come every month to tell people about the insurance that they that's available that they use for their hospital, Blue Cross Blue Shield. You got the military side of it, TRICARE, VA disability, uh, and the emergency situations that they may find themselves into, the Medicare Advantage or Medicare Plus that people can use. These hospitals tell you what they accept, what you can expect. Um, the pharmacy, we had a doctor here last month that talked about strokes, the early signs of a stroke, because most people coming here have underlying health conditions or pre-existing health conditions that needed specialists, and that's what they talk about. They can talk directly to them, and they make a decision on which hospital. But you can't. You can only you can pick all the hospitals and register for all the hospitals. You don't have to just pick one. And if you got a certain doctor, that doctor can go to whatever hospital that you're at and still provide service to you at any hospital. So there's so many different advantages by being able to come to one place that's going to be able to put you in contact with the hospital, their representatives, and explain the type of insurance that you have or need. Because there's a couple of hospitals that have their own policies that they can sell to them once a month. The rates are very reasonable. One of them have a policy that takes up to 3 pre-existing conditions. So that means you can still get a policy, a health insurance policy that can cover other things other than those 3 pre-existing conditions, because I think it's a 12-month period, waiting period, before that'll automatically kick in and be covered. So there's so many different advantages, and the cost that you would have to pay out of pocket is less than your copay back in the US. So there's so many advantages that you get when you come to our one source and talk to the immigration lawyers to tell you about the price that you should be paying to get your pensionado or friendly nation or business established in Panama. So all that's available for you right here. You got school age kids, they talk to you about those things too. So there's just so many different advantages that you get for free when you stop into our one source. And that way, whoever you're doing business with, you can decide to continue with them, or you can be able to negotiate with them a better rate for your pensionata. Just so many different things that you can do in Panama, but get the information up front. We even have the bankers tell you about getting your bank account open here in Panama. So you can expect and plan better when you're going back to the United States. Hey, I've already got this established on our first visit, but don't come here and leave empty handed if this is what you're doing. Uh, Planning to relocate to Panama. Don't leave empty handed. Don't just say, oh, I got my temporary visa. No, you probably needed to have a bank account too. You probably need to actually have your health covered, as what hospital and how that works here. What if you have an emergency? Can I dial 911? Are they going to speak English? Are they going to speak Spanish? There's so many different things that can make your life so much easier than
Right.
coming here thinking that, oh, as long as I get that temporary and my permanent is coming. No, you ain't even got started yet.
Yeah, you hit on a key point right there. I've seen several expats that get down there and they get their temporary, and they're in the process of doing that, and they just don't take care of that health right up front. And some of them been there a while, and then they have an emergency, and they're out there doing it. What they're doing is good because they're going on the videos and they're saying, "Hey, we went through this," but they could have took care of that, got it all set up, and knew what to expect. So definitely don't put that off once you start going through the motions of getting your visas. Take care, get situated. Know which hospital you're going to go to. Know who you're going to call. Know if you have to prepay for these ambulance service. Hey, pay for the
Exactly.
year so hey, that's done, because it may be next week. You twist your ankle and fell into a ditch and rolled off into a canal and got off. You don't know what's going to happen. So
Let me cover this too, not to cut you off.
yeah, go
People
go.
come here, oh, I want to live at the beach and what have you. You're 2 hours away from the hospital. And a lot of times when you're out there, the service that you may need, they may not be able to provide. What's going to happen to you while you're waiting to see or find out at the last minute that they can't help you in the event of an emergency? So that should be part of your consideration of where you should live, especially if you have health issues. You need to understand before you make that decision, sign that lease out there, can they provide the medical treatment that you need in the event you need it? Perfect example. There was a young lady came here with her husband. I shouldn't say young, but everybody's young at heart. She was a bodybuilder, very good physique and what have you, but she woke up dizzy one morning without knowing what to do, what hospital or anything to go to. Contacted me. I gave her the information. I was able to, because I had the pamphlets here that the hospitals leave, the insurances, because she don't have the insurance. Her husband is military, retiree, but she's not set up on his plan, Champ VA. But she needed something standalone for herself because there's no guarantee that he's going to live to where she can still benefit, even though her not knowing that she can still get on Champ VA if something happens to him. There's just a lack of knowledge that you need to know coming into Panama. What is your priority? What needs to be taken care of? You've got to put those things in order, and or have somebody to help you to put that in order since this is your first time. So that's what you need. You need somebody that's going to give you advice. I don't need to talk to you for an hour and charge you $50 or $100 to talk to you and give you this information. It's free. It's what we do as a community, take care of each other. And that's basically what we're doing here in Panama, creating that community for people like us that have the same benefits, that have the same conditions, that know what right looks like, and they're willing to share that with you. Not just myself, but there's a pool of other people around me that's doing that as well. Military claims, all of that stuff at our one source, so that you'll be able to get those things accomplished at the first visit. Don't wait until something happens.
Yeah, please don't. Yeah, I mean, seeing that happening to individuals, and they've been there a while, and then just have to go through all that. And I'm glad they're documenting it and sharing it with others, that what the struggle was, what they went through. But definitely put that on top of the list right after getting your temp. Okay, let me sign up for one of these services, and in the meantime, you could always go to one of the med clinics. They have monthly plans like $25, and you can see a doctor 2 or 3 times a month. I mean, so at least go there and have something, and then still take care of that main hospitalization, where you're going to go, how you're going to do it, who's going to pick you up. I mean, don't get caught up in it and you mess around and have to get an Uber now, and you telling that
Yeah.
jerk to step on it.
And they
Yeah,
do have urgent care here. They have 24-hour urgent care. If something happens to you, there's always a medical office or a facility open 24 hours a day, not just a hospital, but an urgent care facility to accommodate whatever situation that you're in, help you get emergency care right there on the spot. It's not that expensive either. You can go
Yeah.
in there, they'll diagnose you right away. It's not a sit there and wait situation. They're going to take care of you as soon as you come in that door with an emergency. And that was one of the other questions that came up, and a situation that came up and said, "Hey, do they have urgent care here?" Yes, they do have that here. So don't think that you're not going to be able to be seen. The healthcare services here is excellent, and it's well above the standards of what we're accustomed to in the U.S. Well above that. So I can say that for sure. It's above. You're going to be very happy and satisfied, not with just with the care, but with the cost of that care.
Excellent, excellent. Well, as always, man, you knocked it out of the park doing what you do. And Wednesdays, you're still doing the Welcome Wednesdays, are you? Or
Welcome Wednesday, every Wednesday. That's our game night, our welcome Wednesday night to the expats that's here or the ones that's coming. It's they network together, exchange phone numbers. They play spades, bid whiz, and talk a lot of trash to each other. They just meeting, but it seems like they've been knowing each other for years, like a long lost friend that you find when you come here for our welcome Wednesday night. And that seems to be a night that them butlers are going to be here doing their welcome Wednesdays once a month here as well, so that they can, get that butler brigade, very strong. That community that they're building as well of information that they pass on. You got to follow them on their YouTube channel too.
all right, all right. Well, guys, we appreciate you tuning into another Panama Crosstalk. Always informative, from talking about what they're saying, what they're doing, meeting the ambassadors, and talking about different stuff, health insurance, Social Security, mail. Man, there's some topics we just knocked out of the park today. Thanks to JC right here, man. He's the man. He is the man, and he's in the mix with it. So, if you're new, you're just visiting in Panama, stop by. Daiquiri 23 is located in El Cangrejo, right up from Godie's, just, literally 20 yards right up the road there. So, uh, check him out. He's always got great drinks there, and check out some of that fried yard bird he's doing up there, man. That stuff is, I tell you what, man, it'll have you clucking. But check him out, guys. And we thank you for checking out Panama Crosstalk for right now. Peace and love. We'll see you next time.
Next time.